I'm having a kid soon, so I need to be able to pivot. Brains be big as your head. Really shouldn't have the expectation on myself to really just still be doing everything I was doing pre-pregnancy. I committed to something. I think that's just kind of like my character. If I say I'm going to do something. Welcome back to the vlog, my friends. Starting this video off very impromptu, I might say. Today's Friday. I am currently taking a 40 minutes to hour walk on my lunch break. It's hot. It's like 85 degrees, so I'm just kind of like, I'll turn around when I start to feel like I'm about to pass out. I have a pretty decent weekend ahead. I actually have a 5K on Sunday. It's like an event for young girls to be active while they're young, so for a good cause, figured I'd take you along. I am just over 24 weeks pregnant. I do feel like now that I'm in the second trimester, it's now May. Today is May 2nd. I do feel like time is sort of flying now. The first trimester just felt like forever, probably because I was, pretty sick and low energy. So those dreadful days always drag on. It's always the fun days that fly by. Not sure if y'all can see this, but 2 miles done, just over 40 minutes. It's so bright out here. Just wrapped up work and I'm about to put some makeup on. Caleb and I are headed to the VMFA, the Virginia Museum of Fine Arts, if you're not familiar with the Richmond area. The Frida Kahlo exhibit is currently on site. That'll be fun, and then we're gonna get Mexican after. It's like one of our favorite cuisines. Bought this Makeup by Mario Soft Sculpt Transforming Skin Enhancer as a bronzer or like a contour, but it's literally the same color as my skin once it put on my face. So I'm actually gonna just use it as like a foundation today because I actually don't really feel like putting on a bunch of liquid products or like a heavy foundation. So of course, by the time I tried it, I was past the return window because it takes me forever to try new makeup, honestly. I was curious to know, like, are you guys returning to work like 5 days a week? I know a lot of companies have been like cracking down on like return to work full time. I'm still grateful that my company is doing the hybrid. I wouldn't mind going back into work 5 days a week, but of course, like, there's so much convenience with working from home, like saving gas, not going out to eat as much during lunch. When I get off at 5 o'clock or even like 4:30, it's like I have the rest of the evening to myself. I don't have to worry about commuting and all that stuff. So yeah, let me know what your company is doing. So like I said earlier, I am just over 24 weeks pregnant. By the time this video comes out, I'll actually probably be 25 weeks pregnant, and I just wanted to kind of like let you guys know where my headspace is at with workouts. I mean, it's not really that much different from what we talked about in the last video. Definitely just been working on being more positive even in those moments where, because I think like what happens, I don't know if anyone has ever like been so sick and it lasted a long time. Then when you start to like maybe feel those symptoms again, you almost like have anxiety, like, oh my god, like, am I getting a cold? I don't know how to explain it, but like whenever I still get a little bit of lingering nausea, like in the afternoon towards the evening. I would say like between lunch and dinner, I still have a little bit of nausea, and I just like, when I feel it coming, it's almost as if like I get so scared that like my body is gonna shut down, like I'm gonna have to lay down, I'm not gonna feel like doing all of the things I committed to, such as like maybe straightening up or cooking dinner. Like that has happened actually a couple days ago. Yeah, I started to feel some nausea like around 4 p.m. and I was planning on like making this really delicious dinner, and I was like, I can't even like smell food cooking at the moment. Excuse those paintings in the background. I haven't committed to decorating my office yet because I honestly have no idea what I want to do with the space. Workouts have actually been pretty decent. I need to do a better job of like my pelvic floor exercises. I'm pretty sure that I'm getting pelvic activity that I need during strength training, like squats, deadlifts, shoulder press, like all those compound movements of course work your pelvis, but I really need to do a better job at dedicating time just as my belly grows bigger, and I know like in the 3rd trimester it's going to be growing quite rapidly, so I really just want to make sure I'm being proactive with that. I've just been focusing on like hypertrophy training. I'm definitely not like doing any type of strength like I'm really not lifting anything over 100 pounds for real. In terms of like steps and overall like activity each day, I do try to get 8,000 steps. But I talked to my OB last appointment, which was at my like 21 week checkup, and I was telling her like, oh yeah, I'm gonna try to get 8,000 steps, and I lift 3 to 4 times a week, and that includes like group fitness classes. And she was like, oh, that's more than most people. But that was really nice. It made me sort of like zoom out and be like, okay, I don't really need to like, really shouldn't have the expectation on myself to really just still be doing everything I was doing pre-pregnancies. I'm also giving myself more time like in between workouts, like, so I try not to do 2 workouts back to back. So for example, yesterday was Thursday. I worked out at Orange Theory after work, and I woke up and I was like, oh, I'm gonna do legs. Like I mentioned earlier, I have a 5K on Sunday, and I still have 2 Orange Theory classes that I need to do before the 7th, which is like less than a week from now. So I was like, okay, well, let me rest today. I'll do Orange Theory tomorrow, I'll do the 5K on Sunday, and then I'll rest Monday. Whereas like if I wasn't pregnant, I would have just still worked out today, tomorrow, Sunday, Monday, until I just felt really sore. But I don't know, like everything's going really good with the pregnancy, and I don't want to be pushing it just because I can. I will say life comes at you really fast. Like it's Cinco de Mayo weekend. Me and my girl would have been painting the town red, bar hopping. Now I'm like, I don't want to be around a bunch of crowds. I don't want to be around a bunch of drunk people. And also like my friends that are actually Mexican, or like their family is from Mexico, they don't even celebrate that. it's like somebody like telling me, oh, like we finna go turn up for Kwanzaa. It's like I don't celebrate that. But it's still fun. It's something to do. But of course, like with me being pregnant, I'm not really trying to be out on a weekend, or like the day, like Cinco de Mayo is on Monday, so I'm not trying to be out at a restaurant on Monday with like the long waiting lines. And when I'm hungry, I need to eat. I think this lip is a little much for a museum and a Mexican restaurant, so I'm probably just gonna put some clear gloss on once it fades away. Amigos is hands down the best restaurant, or Mexican restaurant in Richmond, off Staples Mill, in my opinion. Drinks be big as your head. We are back home in for the night. I was pleasantly surprised at how much I really enjoyed the exhibit. Typically when I go to a museum, I'm just like looking at the art, looking at the statue, but I don't really like read all the descriptions. But for this exhibit, they started it with sort of like a timeline of her life. So I read basically each significant milestone, like from birth to death. There were a couple of pieces referring to her art shortly after her bus accident, and I didn't realize that's sort of like why she essentially just had an early death and her health declined progressively throughout the years. And then I didn't know about like her affairs and her marriages. Like I just didn't know any of that. I was just like, it was a very simplistic approach, so it wasn't like any statues or anything. It was really just paintings, drawings, and self-portraits. Sometimes the most simplistic stuff moves people the most. I think that was sort of like the theme I got from it. And of course, along with her messages of just like defying the odds of societal norms, it was just, I don't know, timely, and it was pretty good. So if you're in the Richmond area, I highly recommend. Mexican food bussin' as always. I had a pina colada, which was okay, but it was of course with no alcohol. It just tasted very like coconut milky, so I didn't finish it. We have speakers installed on our screened-in porch, so Kate's gonna come out here and have a drink. I'm just having boring old water. I'm sadly out of cold brew this morning, so I had to opt for some hot coffee. So I'm taking the 11:20 workout class. I usually take the 10:15 Orange Theory class, but I was supposed to get my nails done. Need a fill-in because our maternity shoot, we're doing like a maternity shoot at the beach in a couple weeks. So I was gonna get a fill-in this weekend, and then it will be grown out enough to where I can get them done again before my baby shower. I had to reschedule my nail appointment because my windshield cracked yesterday. The only available place to get it done is 40 minutes away from my house, which is near the nail salon. So I was like, well, I don't want to go all the way over there on Saturday and then Monday go back over there on that side of town. So I just asked her, can I move my appointment to Monday? You know, I'm just about efficiency when it's about running errands. And of course, like, anyway, the point of that is I was gonna go to Trader Joe's in between my nail appointment and the Orange Theory class because I had like an hour and a half to kill. I'm actually gonna go before. Yeah, I just don't really feel like dealing with Trader Joe's like 1 o'clock on a Saturday afternoon. It's tricky though because it's like 80 degrees, so I don't want any meats or refrigerated items to expire. So I'm actually gonna put like a bucket of ice from our ice tray in the fridge. I'm gonna put it in my Trader Joe's insulated grocery bag. That should keep like the food cold while I'm taking the class. I'm having a kid soon, so I need to be able to pivot. Today's May 3rd, and today would have been Caleb's mom's birthday. We lost her sadly in 2023, and yesterday when we were out, he was like, what's today? And I was like, it's May 2nd. And I think he was remembering like, oh, my mom's birthday is coming up. So one of his family members actually found like this picture of her, brought it over. So I thought that I would get it framed for him. I'm gonna surprise him. That's what I'm whispering. I think it's a really nice blown up picture of her. So I'm gonna try to find a frame at like Walmart or Hobby Lobby or something. When I get home from my workout, I will give it to him. Just been in his office, like leaning up against the wall, and I really want him to frame it. So yes, happy heavenly birthday to my mother-in-law. Yeah, it's already pretty hot, so I think this is a good idea. They don't really have a lot of options. That's why I like going to Target. Right, I'm going to put this picture in the frame while I'm in the parking lot, because if it don't fit, I'm taking it back. Okay, looks like it's gonna fit. So this is a design flaw. They made these flaps way too short. Alright. So the frame fits, but it's like falling out. No. Yeah, I'm gonna return this. Made it to Orange Theory with a minute to spare, so I'm just making sure I have some ice covering this meat. Let's go right now.
So this first block.
Good morning, happy Sunday, or actually good afternoon. It's almost 1 p.m. I did not make it to the 5K this morning. It started raining at 6 a.m. and I did not get a good night's sleep. I was in and out of sleep probably until like 3 a.m. I know insomnia is normal for pregnant women, but I take Unisom and I usually be knocked out for like a good 7 to 9 hours per night. I'm not really sure what was up with last night. Yeah, since it was raining this morning, I just really did not feel comfortable doing a 5K outside in the rain with me being almost 25 weeks pregnant. That just sounds like a disaster waiting to happen. If I fall or anything like that or slip, I'm already clumsy, like with normal conditions in my own house. I'd be falling up and down the stairs. So I do feel bad though, because like my job is a sponsor, so like I signed up for this race to basically participating for free. Took a spot which somebody else could have had, but it is what it is. Children out there, you know, children don't really have like depth perception yet, so someone could easily bump into me while I'm running. I just thought it was a combination for a disaster. So I still want to get some movement in. I'm headed to Gold's Gym to do 5K on the treadmill. I'm probably gonna do like a walk run combination. I think you can still technically get like a medal if you do it virtually, so I'll submit like I completed it today. I mean, I don't really care if that's the case or not. I don't really care about the medal, but I do want to kind of like still participate because I committed to something. I think that's just kind of like my character. If I say I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it. And I try to find alternatives to pivot. So yeah, let's get these steps in. Finished up my 5K, this lady like 3 treadmills down waved at me to take my headphones out. She was like, you are such goals running that fast while you're carrying a child. I thought that was so sweet. I was like, oh, thank you. I may look okay, but I be feeling like Bella from Twilight when she was pregnant with Renesmee. It ended up being a decent jog. I put my Strava stats on the screen. I ended up like running, well, I'm not running, I'm jogging. I ended up jogging probably like 0.8 to 0.9 of each mile, and then I would walk for like 0.1 to give myself and my pelvis a break. Just try to keep my heart rate like under 160, 155. I'm about to go home and make myself a barbecue chicken flatbread pizza because I'm starving. And here's my lunch: barbecue chicken and spinach, mozzarella cheese flatbread. Wish I had some pineapples though.